I don't even have a witty punchline to start the video. Just I want to get past the little graphic gimmick and start talking about the show, if that's okay with everybody. Oh yes. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz, Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your brand new era, July 25th, Monday Night Raw, post-Battleground, post-draft, first day with your new roster, whatever else you want to call it, Monday Night Raw review. This was the first Raw after the draft. This is the show where all of us were saying, okay, we did the draft. People think what they think of the draft. I've said my piece. I've said that I'm Team Blue until somebody proves me wrong. I think that the WWE heard me, because this was a pretty damn good show. Started off with the pre-show. The pre-show on the WWE Network is now hosted by Scott Stanford, Lita, Jerry the King Lawler, and Booker T, who wasn't there this week but will be apparently going forward. They talk about Foley and Steph are going to start off Raw by addressing the whole roster. Rah. They pass on their congratulations to Corey Graves, who used to be on the pre-show, who's now one of the main voices of Raw. They say the New Day are going to celebrate their tag team. Why can't I talk tonight? Fuck. They're going to celebrate their tag team, like, longest reigning tag team record. It's been almost a year, which is cool. We see promo packages for Nia Jax and Finn Bálor, which is cool. We get a glimpse by watching the pre-show of what the new graphics are going to look like. We all made fun of the new Raw and SmackDown logos, and they're kind of shit. But all the visual stuff, all the little frames and all the graphics and all those types of things, the imagery, the graphic art type stuff, doesn't look too bad. I will give them credit. I don't like the actual Raw logo, because it just looks like it's in, font size 12 Arial from your word processor there, just copied over in red. But the rest of the graphics and the transitions and all that sort of thing don't look that bad. They don't tell us much more of what we're going to see on the show, because obviously Stephanie and Mick Foley are... I'm talking with my hands a lot too. I'm tired. I'm going to slur. I'm going to friggin... There's a lot that went on tonight. I'm sorry. We started off the show with a replay of Ambrose winning at Battleground. Now, the one funny thing I will say right off the bat, if anybody read the article about one of the Usos, I don't remember which one it was, being creepy as fuck and, like, grabbing the Diva's hair and, like, sniffing it while they were watching the main event. Apparently it was caught on camera. I missed it, but apparently the Usos were being really creepy to a couple of the Divas. Now, that's really funny when they're Team SmackDown, which means they're, in theory, cheering for Dean Ambrose, but their cousin is in there too. So when the SmackDown guys had their celebration at the end of the night, the Usos had to hoist up Dean Ambrose. They literally had to hoist up the guy that just pinned their cousin. Fuck the Usos, because that's some creepy ass shit. The new theme music is alright. I mean, it's not like heavy rockin', but it's got a little bit more of an edge to it. It's nice the way the new video montage at the beginning goes. It's a lot better than what it was. The commentators are back up on the stage like they used to be during the last draft. I don't know whether I like it or not, but I think it's one of those things that's going to set it apart from SmackDown. I don't like the fact that every time they're talking to the commentators have to turn and stand up, because that part of it looks awkward. The stage is new. I mean, it's still all video screens, so it's not that new, but they've got a new configuration. It's fine. They're going back to the red ropes, which is good, which I'm assuming means that SmackDown is going to have the blue ropes. Am I the only one that thought of this? Do you remember the last draft when you had the Raw and SmackDown referees, where the Raw referees never got Raw shirts? They just had the prototypical WWE, the zebra shirts, but the SmackDown referees had those, like, blue pinstripe actual SmackDown referee things. I wonder if they're going to do something like that again. But the show had a new look to it. Little minor things, but I mean, you don't want to be dropped in a whole new world, because that's a little insulting to the intelligence. But it was new enough. Stephanie and Mick Foley come out. They welcome us all to the new era of Raw. They introduce the entire roster. They take some time to let everybody, all the members of the new roster, come out. They talk about Dean's win last night, and they put all the blame on Roman Reigns. I mean, he's the one that got pinned, so fair enough. They say, in basically talking to the roster, they say, everybody look at Roman Reigns. He lost the title for all of us. In 1,209 episodes of Monday Night Raw, we've never not had a champion. Which is some straight up bullshit from Stephanie McMahon, because the first time they did a draft, and the undisputed champion Brock Lesnar was signed exclusively to SmackDown, they didn't have a champion, which is why your husband, Stephanie, Triple H, was fabricated and handed the World Heavyweight Championship by Eric Bischoff. Know the history of your company. I'm just putting that one out there. But we're going to have a new champion, and we're not only going to have a new champion, because this era is all about the WWE Universe, it's going to be the WWE Universal Championship. And I just sat there and I laughed, and I'm like, all the smarks are going to cry. All the smarks are going to cry. But what we're going to do, we're going to have 2 fatal 4-way matches tonight. The winners of those 2 matches will have a one-on-one match in our main event tonight, and the winner of that match will face our number 1 draft pick, Seth Rollins, at the pay-per-view. They don't actually say it, but I gotta believe that Seth Rollins being a number 1 contender and not being the one that was pinned last night at Battleground, he never lost. So I could see them making the argument that he never lost his number 1 contendership either. Now, if you're the number 1 contender and there is no champion, then you and whoever the next number 1 contender is, i.e. the guy we're going to talk about later on, has to be the match. I mean, Dean Ambrose is going to face whoever he faces at SummerSlam. Seth Rollins is going to face whoever the new established number 2 contender is, I guess, because he's the number 1 contender to a title that doesn't exist yet. So you got to have your number 1 and your number 2 contender. Anyways, so we're going to have all that. And the 8 men involved in these 4 matches tonight are going to be Sami Zayn, Sheamus, Chris Jericho, Cesaro, Roman Reigns, Rusev, Kevin Owens, and Finn fucking Bálor. Oh, yes. Also, we're going to get Charlotte versus Sasha for the title tonight for reasons. Because we just don't want to wait for SummerSlam. They just don't want to. Coming back from the break, the first fatal 4-way is Cesaro versus Rusev versus Owens versus Finn Bálor. And I will say, you can call me a mark all you want. There's only ever been, in the time that I've been watching WWE, and yes, this makes me a nerd, I don't care, 3 wrestlers that if I'm watching them on my TV make their entrance into an arena, make me turn off all the lights in this room and just look at my TV. First one's obviously The Undertaker. Second one, more recently in the past few years, has been Bray Wyatt. Third one has been Finn Bálor. And to see that entrance, even though he's not the Demon right now, which is fine, I'm cool with that. Even though he's rockstar douchebag Finn Bálor doing the black and white entrance, almost NWO-ish, it's still cool. It's still cool to get those spotlights. It's still cool to see the crowd react to him. It's still cool to see him make that entrance for the first time on that big stage. And oh my fucking god, I'm there. I don't even care. I'm there. Bálor on Raw is fucking awesome. They didn't associate him with Gallows and Anderson, which is fucking wonderful. Anyways, Bálor and Owens brawl, Cesaro and Rusev brawl, uppercuts by Cesaro, headlock by Bálor, headlock on Bálor by Owens, a tackle by Owens, Rusev and Cesaro brawl some more outside. Dropkick by Bálor, Rusev eats the guardrail on the outside, bowling ball off the apron by Cesaro on Rusev as we go to commercial break. This is a long match. And my notes suck as the match goes on. You guys are used to this by now. Bálor and Cesaro double suplex Rusev and Owens, back elbow by Bálor. Owens and Rusev double team for a while. German suplex by Rusev, clothesline by Owens. Rusev tosses Bálor. Rusev and Owens double team Cesaro. Running senton by Owens and a splash by Rusev. Sort of a... The heels are playing Can You Top This, but they're also getting rid of the babyface opponents, which is cool. Forearms by Bálor on both heels. Oh! The double teaming by both heels on the 2 babyfaces is outlined a lot by the newest addition to the Raw announce team, Corey Graves, who did fucking awesome tonight. And yes, I'm biased because Corey Graves is one of my favorite commentators right now, but go back and listen. It's fucking great. Byron Saxton just doesn't need to be there. Holy shit. Suplex by Owens. Owens and Rusev trade punches for a while and a crossbody by Cesaro. Uppercut train on Owens, Bálor, and Rusev by Cesaro. Originally, he's only doing it to the heels, but then he notices Bálor, and the commentators once again are like, yeah, These guys are the guys that are fucking with him, but that guy wants to win the match too. So it's all good. Dropkick by Bálor, reverse DDT to Cesaro by Bálor. Commercial break again. 3-segment match to start off the show. Not too shabby. Tower of Doom out of the corner by Rusev on his 3 opponents. Pele by Bálor, TKO by Owens and a super kick. Frog Splash by Owens, Pop-Up Bomb by Owens, Corkscrew Uppercut by Cesaro, super kick by Rusev, Accolade by Rusev, Deadlift Suplex by Cesaro, clothesline by Cesaro. Cesaro and Rusev trade some punches for a while. Cesaro hits the swing on Rusev, locks him in the Swiss shooter, and it's broken up by a super kick by Owens, cannonball by Owens, sling blade by Bálor, drop kick, and a coup de grace by Bálor. Get him the win. Welcome to fucking Raw, Finn Bálor. Awesome. So it's one of those, who's he going to face in the main? Because, you know, WWE can't help themselves. They've got 2/3 of the Shield. We can keep the Shield story going because that's what people want to see, right? Unfortunately, Nia Jax is on Raw. Nia Jax versus a local jobber named Britt Baker. Jax does some shoving and some squishy because she's big, and some slaps and some squishy in the corner. And a leg drop, and a headbutt, and a leg drop. Because look at me, I'm big, I win because you can't move me. Nia Jax still sucks, even on the main roster. Oh yes, in the back, Golden Truth, play Pokemon Go. I dare you. I dare you to ask me my true opinion of Pokemon Go. I dare you. Sasha Banks cuts a wicked promo on Charlotte, how she's going to be the new champion for the new era, and it's all good. Lesnar is coming back next week, which is great. The second Fatal 4-Way is Jericho versus Sheamus versus Zayn versus Roman. So it's one of those, it's going to be Zayn or Roman, isn't it? It's either going to be big, gigantic Roman Reigns opponent for Finn Balor, or indie-pleasing match Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor. Either way works and suits me down to the ground. Jericho and Sheamus double team Roman, and Zayn eventually joins in on the double teaming on Roman because everybody gets cheered by beating up Roman. Roman eats the rail on the outside, and the heels turn to Zayn. Clothesline by Sheamus, chops by Zayn, elbows by Sheamus, corner shots by Sheamus, boots by Zayn, boots by Sheamus, head scissor by Zayn. Zayn tosses out both heels. Hard side slam from behind by Romans. Sami Zayn has one of those fun moments where it's like he's just, you know, dodged all the blows from these two gigantic guys that, well, Jericho's not gigantic, but by comparison to Sami Zayn, Sheamus is a pretty big guy. He's dumped both of them out. He's having a happy little jog around the ring for half a second. Out comes Roman Reigns to fucking squash that. It's good. Vertical suplex by Roman and corner spears and some corner body blows. Roman and Zayn trade punches. Zayn tosses Roman out of the ring, which is great. Sheamus gets back in the ring in time to hit the 10 beats of the Baron on Sami Zayn. Triangle dropkick by Jericho. The three of them sort of muddle around on the apron, and Roman just bulldozes everybody out of the ring. And Roman Reigns, it wasn't great, it wasn't pretty, it was kind of shit, but Roman Reigns tried a suicide dive as we go to commercial break. Sheamus and Jericho suplex Roman when we get back. Corner splash by Sheamus, corner spear and a high knee, crossbody by Zayn, clothesline by Roman, Samoan drop by Roman, drive by on Jericho and Sheamus, because that's fun, 2 for the price of 1. Corner clotheslines by Jericho and Sheamus because they're both trapped in the corner. Blue Thunder Bomb by Sami Zayn to Roman Reigns was fucking pretty. Razor's Edge Bomb by Roman on Zayn, which looked like it should have broken Zayn in half, to be honest. Bro kick by Sheamus, and lots of pin attempts by everybody. Zayn and Jericho trade punches. Walls of Jericho, bro kick by Sheamus, 3 clotheslines and an Irish curse. Superman punch to Jericho, Superman punch to Sheamus, Superman punch to Zayn, Codebreaker by Jericho and a spear. Codebreaker by Jericho, but Roman Reigns gets back up with a spear. Roman wins. Our main event tonight is Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor. I'm an excited guy so far. New Day come out. They've been champion for 337 days. They've got 337 balloons. They announce the Real Bootios cereal, which I don't know whether that makes me laugh or cry. They talk about the record they've set. They play this video package. And you know what? For what it's worth, the video package that they put together of their 337-day title reign is kind of fun, and it's kind of cool. And I made the joke on Twitter, look at that New Day video, it brings a tear to a glass eye. And then they bring this guy out named Sonny Boy, who keeps saying his name over and over and over again. He's in a New Day shirt, obviously. He's obviously a plant. Obviously, he dances with them. They're not paying attention to anything else. They get jumped by Gallows and Anderson. Hard way. I think that this is going to be your title match for SummerSlam, and I'm okay with that. Ambrose is going to be on Austin's podcast in 2 weeks, and that will be fun. Curtis Axel versus the returning Neville. What the hell did they call him now? The irrelevant Curtis Axel is how he was announced by the ring announcer. Holy shit. Sidehead Neville looks good. Freaking Neville always looks good. It's fucking... Neville's back just in time for the Cruiserweight division, is he not? Side headlock by Neville and a Hurricane Rana and a back elbow. A hip toss, a side headlock, and a reversal by Axel. Standing... what the fuck did I call that? It's not a shooting star press because he's not coming off the top rope, so he's not really shooting, but a standing star press by Neville and a stomp by Axel. Drop kick by Axel, which was decent. A headlock and a backbreaker. A kick in the face and then a kick in the face and then in the chest by Neville. It works if I enunciate all my words. That deadlift back suplex with the bridge that Neville does, and then he hits him with a forearm once he gets up. Kick in the face, back suplex. My computer can stop dinging because I'm doing a video. Red Arrow gets the win for Neville. In the back, Darren Young cries to Bob Backlund about losing his match last night, and Golden Truth do more Pokemon bullshit. And we do a hype video for Finn Bálor. Now, this is the same hype video that they played on the pre-show. I can understand them playing it again. Not everybody has the network. Now we're on Raw. Some people didn't see it. What I don't get is playing the hype video for this guy after he's had his debut match. It's not a bad thing because he's still new. We're still in the process of it being his first night, and he does have another match later on. I don't understand if you're going to play the hype video, why would you not put that Fatal 4-Way on second? Just a little thing. Doesn't take away from the show. The video package is obviously great. Lots and lots and lots of great footage from NXT. Lots and lots of great footage on the Demon, which is, hopefully leaves us waiting for things to come. But it confused me, or it didn't confuse me, but it kind of struck me as odd that they played the hype video that you would play for somebody that's about to debut after he's already had a match, or after he's already won a match. It's just a little strange in my book. Charlotte cuts a shitty promo in the back. It's such a shitty promo that even the microphone doesn't like it, because the microphone in the back cuts off several times during this promo. But what is not shitty, and Charlotte held up her end, I'll give her this, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship. Oh. Could that, all due respect to Finn Bálor, Roman Reigns, this new Universal title that they're trying to create, which is going to be the main title on Raw. All due respect to all of that and everything else that was on this show today, because this was a good show. This should have been the main event. It should have been the main event. Collar and elbow tie-up is stiff, and it lasts a long time. Snapmare by Sasha takes us into another collar and elbow tie-up. They almost roll out of the ring, which is, I think, what they did do in their matches in NXT when they tried to show that the collar and elbow was really, really stiff. So stiff that they drag each other out of the ring. They almost did that again. A lot of chain wrestling and a pinning reversal sequence. Amazing bent over. It looks like she's going to go for the bank statement immediately, but she doesn't. She goes for this straight jacket choke, but she does it in such a way that she bends Charlotte's whole body. The flexibility... Okay, and again, all due respect to everybody else on the roster, the flexibility of these two girls means that they can do things in the ring that you shouldn't be able to do. Amazing bent over straight jacket choke by Sasha with a bridge, with a post. At first the post is the knee, then the post is the entire extent of her leg, and it just fucking looks disgusting and great all at the same time. Turns it into a crossface and dumps Charlotte out of the ring. Double knee press from the apron to the floor. Looks really, really painful. The double knee press that Sasha Banks does, it's cool. It's one of those things that, as a fan of hers, I don't want her to do a lot because she's going to fuck up her knees and she's going to have like a Seth Rollins situation. But that's another story for another day. Baseball slide drop kick by Sasha. Neckbreaker by Charlotte, who knocks Sasha off the apron. Charlotte boots Sasha in the head as she's falling off the apron. And here's the boot, here's the head, here's the guardrail. And it just looks, again, it looks really nasty. Sasha does the fucking Eddie Guerrero bit. When she's on the outside, when the referee's trying to make sure Charlotte doesn't go after her, Dana's right there. Sasha grabs the belt, throws it at Dana. Dana catches it in time for the referee to see. Sasha pretends she's been hit, and Dana Brooke is ejected from the match. Fucking great. Anybody that listens to the Jericho podcast knows the amount of dedication that Sasha Banks has in her career to the late great Eddie Guerrero, and the whole lie, cheat, steal bit where you act like you got hit by something and you really didn't to get the disqualification or whatever. Her paying homage to Eddie Guerrero in this match, and the way it was done, and the way it was done so fucking well, so good. But that gets Dana Brooke removed on the way to the commercial break. We come back. There's a surfboard stretch by Charlotte, head scissor by Sasha, double knee press by Sasha in the ring. They trade forearms, rolling clotheslines by Sasha, and a knee lift. Knee drop in the corner by Sasha, the double knees to the chesting. Neckbreaker by Charlotte, who misses the moonsault. Suicide dive by Sasha, and here we go again, talking about Hall of Famers. Hall of Famer Lita on the pre-show earlier. Everybody remembers when her and Trish Stratus main evented Raw. She did the suicide dive. She took it on a bad angle. She came in completely bent, almost fucked up her neck. Basically, her whole back came up over her head and all that sort of thing. Bent herself in half. Sasha landed in a very similar way here tonight, and I'm thinking, okay, I think we're going to get a really special moment in this match, but if she just fucked herself up, that's really bad. But again, it's one of those, Charlotte and Sasha, they're so fucking flexible, you could bend them in half and they're still okay. We've seen this. We've seen this in the Sasha Bayley matches at the takeovers. It's fucking unreal. I don't want to say this because people are going to think I'm hating on Charlotte, but she does a botchy hangman thing and then a botchy moonsault that almost doesn't hit Sasha. But boot by Sasha, boot by Charlotte. Charlotte hits the natural selection. They trade punches in the figure four. She's trying to lock in the figure eight. She gets as far as the figure four. Sasha's throwing punches at her. She's throwing punches back while they're seated in the figure four position. Bank statement, but Sasha makes it to the ropes. Friggin' talks some shit. Bank statement again. Center of the ring. Charlotte taps out. Sasha Banks is your champion. We all knew Sasha Banks was going to be the champion. That's fine. We thought it was going to happen at SummerSlam. There's people already making the argument that it should have happened at SummerSlam. What the fuck? Why did WWE... I don't care. This is one of those moments, and this is one of those moments where I'm going to bring it down a notch, and I'm going to take my critic hat off. I'm going to put my fan hat on. The crowd, when that tap went, when they saw Charlotte tap, when they saw Sasha Banks and Charlotte bawling in the ring, there was yes chants for a minute or two, which was going to make me cringe because everybody's going to Daniel Bryan references and all that sort of thing. But the crowd there, I think it was in Pittsburgh, they did it good. They did it the right way. They transitioned those yes chants into you deserve it chants. There was a standing ovation. They gave Sasha a couple minutes on the mic after the match to, have her sort of emotional, whatever you want, her emotional outpouring type thing. I said it on Twitter. Trying to be as not corny as I possibly can, but if I come off as corny, I don't really care. Moments like this are why we watch wrestling. If you're not watching wrestling for moments like this, you're doing it wrong. And I'm sorry if that makes me sound like a dick. If you're watching it to pick apart a show and only find the things you can criticize about because being negative will get you hits on Twitter or views on YouTube, you're doing it wrong. If you're not watching wrestling with the goal of getting moments like this, and you can look at a moment like this and even try to criticize it, you're an asshole, first of all, and second of all, go watch something else, because I don't want to talk to you. I don't. And that's not me being negative. That's me being as positive as I possibly can. This was great. The moment after was fucking great. I know Bayley was all over Twitter making everybody cry with her response. I'm sitting here at home on my couch watching my best friend achieve her dream. Roddy rah. This was amazing. This should have been the main event. Do I disagree with them doing it here and not at SummerSlam? Yeah, but at the same time, again, I got to go back to the whole it's a moment, and a moment is a moment no matter where it happens. And they'll do something else at SummerSlam. They'll do something else special. The entire time Sasha's doing her post-match interview, I thought they were going to have a run-in by Charlotte, which I thought would have ruined it. Or I thought they were going to have a run-in by somebody else, like Sasha's next opponent or whatever, which would have ruined it. I'm glad WWE did this right. And there's not very much else I can say about that other than Charlotte held up her end of the match. Dana Brooke, helped do the whole Eddie Guerrero bit, so good for her. Sasha Banks, you guys know when the Divas Revolution came up, the one that I was most behind, the two that I were most behind was Becky Lynch and Paige, because I think they got lost in the shuffle. Does not, and now you hear me with all my full support behind people like Alexa Bliss, doesn't mean that I don't appreciate how fucking awesome Sasha Banks is, and it doesn't mean I don't know that she fucking deserves this, and doesn't mean that I don't not that any wrestlers watch my channel, but it doesn't mean that I don't congratulate Sasha Banks as a fan from the bottom of my heart, because this was a long time coming and it was fucking amazing. And I don't know how many more times I can say it was fucking amazing, but it was. But unfortunately, we have to move on. We have to move on because we have the amazing re-debut of Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, who proves that a haircut equals a new gimmick. Braun Strowman versus some jobber with an Offspring tattoo. Gets thrown around the ring for a bit. Apparently Braun Strowman's new finisher is a face-first chokeslam. It is what it is. We get a hype video for Roman Reigns for the main event, which is fine. More bullshit with Golden Truth and Pokemon. I'm just saying. Enzo and Cass versus the Shining Stars. It is what it is. Enzo and Epico start, collar and elbow tie-up, headlock by Enzo, dropkick by Epico, high knee by Primo takes out Enzo momentarily. There's a rope choke. Cass gets the hot tag, kills everybody, slam, Empire elbow, and then the match just stops. The match stops because everybody's looking outside the ring at Golden Truth, who are still chasing Pokemon at ringside. They walk into the ring, across the ring, out of the ring again. Everybody sort of pulls a what the fuck. Quick boot by Cass gets the win by for Enzo and Cass over the Shining Stars, who shouldn't need a distraction to beat them. This was fucking dumb, folks. It really was. Golden Truth, just no. Golden Truth, I can appreciate it. My opinion of the whole Pokemon Go craze, I fuck off with this. On a show that's going this well, fuck off with this. That's all I got. Lesnar is returning next week, we are reminded again and again and again. And then our main event is Roman Reigns versus Finn Bálor. They trade punches. Roman Reigns is all pissed off because he wants to get his hands on Seth Rollins. He throws friggin' Finn Bálor across the ring by his head a couple of times. Hard Irish whip and a pendulum kick by Bálor. Shoulder tackle by Roman and a headbutt drop kick by Bálor. Elbow strike by Roman. 10 clotheslines in the corner by Roman. Drive by misses and a coup de grace on the apron. I believe Roman Reigns was face down on the apron, took a coup de grace to the back as we go to commercial break. Back drop by Roman, side slam, and a sleeper, because he's a good guy, bad guy, because he's the guy. It's the sleeper. It's not a good sleeper, it's not a bad sleeper, it's the sleeper. Huge headbutt by Roman and a boot by Bálor, forearm shots by Bálor, and a one-arm Batista bomb by Roman. They call it the one-arm Batista bomb. He's fully got both arms involved in the lifting, but whatever. Forearm shots by Bálor, boot by Roman, and a pendulum kick by Bálor. Drop kick through the ropes, running apron kick by Bálor, coup de grace to the back of the head by Bálor, similar to what he did to Nakamura on NXT. Sling blade by Bálor, Superman punch by Roman, power bomb into a Batista bomb by Roman. Roman goes for another spear. It's turned into another sling blade, corner drop kick, coup de grace, and ladies and gentlemen, your main event for Raw at SummerSlam is Seth Rollins versus Finn Bálor for the WWE Universal Championship. They had, I think it was Tom Phillips interviewing Roman Reigns at the side of the ring. You know, how do you feel about your loss? How do you feel about Finn Bálor? Rah, 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 rah. Roman Reigns does the cool thing. He congratulates Finn Bálor. He hopes Finn Bálor beats Seth Rollins at the pay-per-view. Because he wants to take another shot at him eventually. He sort of looks up at the ring where Finn Bálor is celebrating, and he says, you know, I want to do that again. You know, that guy's got a lot of respect from me. And that's cool from Roman Reigns, who nobody likes, but everybody kind of looks at as, hey, you know, WWE puts this guy up on a pedestal, sort of John Cena-esque in his pedestal stature. I think it's cool for somebody like that even in a kayfabe way is kind of at the top of the heap to sort tip his hat to the new guy coming in. Not that Finn Bálor needs to be legitimized by any stretch of the imagination, but I still thought it was a classy move. Whether he did that on his own, whether WWE told him to do it, either way, Really classy move by Roman Reigns. Guys, I mean, the squash matches were squash matches, but everything else on this show was great. We're getting that new title. It's the Universal Championship, which is going to drive everybody nuts, I'm sure. But this was good. This was a good start to the new era of Raw, if you ask me. Yeah, I really don't have anything else. I did my big video last week about why I was Team Blue, etc. And now it's real. Michael Cole and Corey Graves made a point of saying it a lot in the night. You know, Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, you've really got to do something to outdo what we've done tonight. And they're right. I still stand by everything I said about what I assume about SmackDown, and until they prove me wrong, I will stay by those statements. But it's really cool. The new commentary team is cool. The sort of the new look of Raw. I still don't like the logo, as we've all talked about. But they've shuffled some things around. They've changed Raw. They've given it a little bit of a darker look. Is how it comes off to me. Now, I'm not saying, oh my God, we're going back to TV 14. We're still in the PG. But they've given it a little bit more edge. The music that they used at the beginning was cool. The preview panel's a little bit different. We're getting this new belt. Sasha Banks is the women's champion, so everybody else is going to go jerk off. It's all good. We're probably going to get Gallows and Anderson versus the New Day, which is fine. The United States champion lost tonight in a fatal four-way match, so we don't know what we're doing with him just yet, but I don't know. It could be fun. Actually, I said something on I didn't write this down. I just thought of this just now. Finn Bálor beat Rusev in the fatal four-way. So if he doesn't become the Universal Champion, he surely should be the next one in line for a U.S. title shot, should he not? Just something to think about. Anyways, I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I will talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.